The Middle Kingdom is giving the middle finger to the MCU. China is changing their tune, refusing to go see Captain America Brave New World, and it has Disney going completely unfurled. The plan was for Beijing to bring big money. Now, nothing seems to be on the table, not even the Avengers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. It is a joy to have you join us, an attitude of gratitude every time we have the honor of spending time with you. As we get ready to get started today, consider clicking the like button, and we'll tell you why that Chinese money, that Chinese cheese, is going away from the Walt Disney Company faster than they can possibly ever redeem it. And they are screaming it, saying, why, oh, why did the first weekend not go the way that they thought it would over in Beijing? Koi moi is our article that we begin with. It says, Captain America Brave New World China box office scores a strong $5 million on its opening day. Remember the propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. Remember it well. It was only a few days ago that they were telling us everything was swell with Marvel and with Captain America, and this was part of it. Remember this, Jonas, when they were telling us that Captain America was going to have this huge Chinese opening? You remember that, Jonas? Captain America Brave New World collected $12 million in the United States from Thursday previews, but an additional $5 million from China. Oh, they were excited. Oh, they were overjoyed. Captain America Brave New World showed encouraging pre-sale numbers at the box office in China. And now the opening day number is finally in. The MCU movie has collected solid numbers in China despite facing the box office phenom, Ne Zha 2. The Chinese animation has undoubtedly impacted the film as it stays below Deadpool and Wolverine and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Keep scrolling for more. No, we will not. We shall not. We cannot. We shan't. Instead, well, we'll go to the reality. This is out of the BBC, which every once in a while, I guess, delves into the reality of what's happening around the world, but not often. Ko Yue is the author here. It says, Captain America must die in China? Nationalism fuels Ne Zha 2 fans. What the? Yeah, this is what really happened. A chorus of praise is being sung around Ne Zha 2, the Chinese film about a mythical boy who battles demons. And yes, folks, we have heard the film is good, cool, which has been newly crowned the world's highest grossing animated film, although take that with a heavy dosage of salt, as in you're going to need a Peterbilt to bring the amount of sodium you need to believe it. The box office triumph of the film, which has raked in 12.3 billion yuan, triggered a huge swell of national pride across China. But as patriotic Ne Zha 2 fans set their sights on further success, they are also keeping a close eye on critics of the movie, accusing them of being clout-chasing paid haters. Also in the crosshairs of this nationalism is Captain America Brave New World, the fourth movie of the superhero franchise, now seen as Ne Zha 2's rival. I don't care if Ne Zha 2 can survive overseas, but Captain America 4 must DEI, folks, I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying DEI, that's DIE, in China, reads a popular slogan that has been repeated on multiple posts on social media. Of the $92 million that Captain America Brave New World has made outside the U.S., only 10 now has come from China, Hollywood's largest overseas market. And that's really misleading too. China, in terms of overall number, might be the second biggest market for U.S. filmmakers. But in terms of what they actually bring back in revenues after China takes 80%, it's teeny. And so it says, it's not Captain America that's dying, it's America that's dying. Reads the title of an essay on an online forum and analyzing the movie's lack of appeal in China. In reality, the U.S. does not have superheroes, and the U.S. is not a peace-loving, peace-defending beacon of humanity. In other words, yeah, Captain America got knocked off from China by the nationalism and whatever it is that's going on in China. They tend to not be in favor of a lot of American stuff right now. And the whole thing about this, ever from the beginning, it just stunk. Everybody knew this was junk. Nobody believed that Captain America Brave New World was going to be the sing-song of China for the upcoming season. It was never going to happen. And yet another domino has fallen in terms of any hope that Captain America will dig out of this dopey box office run it has. Panel, is it a shock to anyone here? Or is anyone, Culture, are you crying right now, realizing that the Middle Kingdom is giving the middle finger to the MCU?
No, I look, this was bound to happen. China's very fickle. Once they've stolen whatever technology they can from you, or in this terms, like, the creative juices or just the idea of how an operation works, they will absolutely just dump you immediately. I have a feeling that's also going to happen with the gaming industry and other things that they're in the process of, trying to steal away from the US. At the same time, the a broad appeal for these films is undermined by streaming. So, am I surprised that China is walking away from this? No. I think that they have plenty of their own version of Hollywood out there, and if anything, right now, in order to preserve their economy, which don't believe the hype, folks, they're having some big trouble there. This kind of nationalism certainly helps out there box office with Niza 2 and many other films that are nationally driven.
Are you surprised at all about the animosity that appears to be
Uh,
fomenting in China towards Captain America: Brave New World?
I mean, come on. This is propaganda central in China. I'm not sure I would take anything they say seriously, nor any of these particular stories. The broader sense is, they have other fights to worry about, but they do like their distractions, and their particular market does favor Chinese films. The exception used to be the superhero or the big action movies, the big tentpoles, but it doesn't seem to be the case anymore because, again, stepping too far into wokeness means you're not telling a story, and that has less appeal to the Chinese audience. So perhaps if you remove things, and if there was a different Captain America in there, perhaps there was a Mr. Evans as Captain America in this movie, I think you wouldn't have nearly as much trouble because whether people want to admit it or not, they're not very diverse in China.
They have no reason to be diverse.
Mr. Wizard, one of the things that's fascinating to me is, we had these articles on the first weekend that were pushing this propaganda that Brave New World was going to do fantastic in China. But I think that the people in China, what they post on social media, as well as their transactional decisions, like what movies they go to see, that all gets like put into this giant rubric of their lives that determines their social credit score and where their standing is in life. It's a case system out of Hades. So I'm not surprised at all that these people are saying it. But the thing is, Wizard, like, I don't know if it's legit or not. I don't know if the Chinese people actually have disdain for America or if they're just playing the game of trying to get up in the social credit score. Whatever the case might be, though, this is not going well for Marvel. And that whole enterprise of having these movies do well over there, like, that seems to be over. What do you think?
I think it's part of just an operation that's happening in China across all of entertainment. You look at movies, you look at gaming. China is making a big push to knock out American competitors. So I could believe that those are the messages that are being portrayed as, take out this Captain America film. And I would 100% believe it. And I'm, in a lot of ways, I'm jealous. I'm kind of jealous. Like this, we just had this major Captain America film. Shouldn't Americans be like, that's my guy, that's Captain America? And we don't have that. I did a video on this, and it was my biggest issue with Captain America, or at least this film, is he's not really for America. I mean, he even said it himself. So I fully believe that that's the messaging being pushed in China, because they're coming after the competition from the U.S. We're seeing it in gaming, like extortionately, with Tencent and companies like NetEase and Tencent with what they're doing in gaming. I absolutely believe it for the big screen.
So let me give you guys some more statistics that really matter here in terms of how much Disney seems to have utterly lost China. Whether that's good or bad, we'll leave that on the table for now. But Mulan. Everybody remember Mulan? It was filmed next to some places that you would never want to film next to. Disney said thank you to the governments that run those places. And Disney, we're told, even went so far as to have the CCP come in and write the script with them. Yet the opening weekend for Mulan in China was only $23 million, and it got worse from there. And it became, one of the biggest embarrassments Disney had seen, except until we got to Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was not even released in China, and the reason was because Well, the star is of Chinese ancestry, but he's Canadian, and that infuriated Chinese audiences and the Chinese government. Vash, is it over in terms of the MCU in China? Is this done? Do they have to completely count on the U.S. and Europe now?
I think it's been over for a little while. I mean, I remember Bob Iger giving an interview December 21st, 2020, in that realm there, on in year 2021. I believe he was at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge giving an interview to CNBC, and he was asked about the China question at that time, and he was saying, yeah, my enthusiasm has cooled on China. I just don't think they're supporting our products in the way that they had been in the past, and that's certainly for sure. And I think with Bob Iger coming back in, I think a lot of Hollywood executives felt, oh, well, he's going to be able to restore relationships there. But it was really never about working harmoniously with China, from the U.S.'s perspective, or even from the Chinese perspective. Well, we know that especially. But I think from the U.S.'s perspective, it was like, oh, well, if we just get in bed with China, then we can put out our product there and earn returns back, and maybe we can influence their culture. And then the Chinese took them for a ride. And so now that they've established their own film studios, now that they've established their own way of creating these stories in this cinematic venue that is cinema, they don't need the U.S. or their product anymore. And, apparently they don't have really an appetite for it to begin with. This is why they're modifying posters, for example, to maybe take out certain attributes of certain actors and so forth, so they can hopefully sell their product in China. I think the enthusiasm for the MCU has cooled quite considerably, and maybe it's cool for Disney product in general. I'm not sure. We'll have to definitely take a look at the international numbers, like from Hong Kong Design and from Shanghai Design, to really find out the answer to that story.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a shift in entertainment just in the China market. But again, it wasn't very valuable to us to begin with. So I think the pro's on the right track there. I mean, earnings
25% returns or something like that.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah, if you get returns, that's the other problem with China is that level of corruption. But I think China was valuable at one point in time for Disney. It really did elevate their films to untouched heights. But, as relationships are going to continue to cool with China, I don't really think I need a lot of Chinese films in our market, and they don't really think they need ours. So we'll just go back to having singular cultures. Boy, would that be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. And I would say, too, to add to all of the misery that Disney is suffering through with China, well, as much as China has problems in terms of the way that they receive certain people and certain ideas in their country, let's just say that Disney did themselves no favors by chasing DEI and wokeism, because wokeism was choked out in China. They were not interested in that, not one bit. Turns out the West might not be either. And yet again, folks, we have come to the end. But what a video it has been, and we hope you agree. Folks, if you had a good time with us, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. We care about your thoughts. Folks, we also want to invite you to partake in thatparkplace.com. Of course, www. You get the idea. Thatparkplace.com. It is the website telling the truth, and it is a rising star across the web for pop culture news coverage and analysis. Go over there and bookmark it today. Folks, we're bookmarking you as a great guest that we appreciate. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, folks, you better believe it, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.